Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today is March 10th, 2020, and I want to share with you some headlines that have taken place over the last day or two, and how all of this is connected to Purim, and very important update within this report. So this morning someone sent me a list of articles, and the links were included within the email that was sent to me. So this is making my job a lot easier, and so I just want to share some headlines with you guys and talk through some things. We had talked about Purim, your feasts being turned into mourning, and how Purim was basically canceled across the board because of the coronavirus outbreak. And over the last couple days, there have been serious movements within travel restrictions and quarantine in many different places. All Italy was quarantined. Now here's one article that says Israel, Italy, Iran, India, Bhutan, and Vietnam are among the countries to have announced coronavirus travel restrictions. Under initial lockdown rules, schools, universities, theaters, cinemas, bars, nightclubs were closed. In Italy's north, this goes together with a countrywide quarantine in all of Italy. Okay? Link is there. The next article is a 2-week isolation ordered for all who enter Israel. Okay, this is basically shutting down all travel in and out of Israel because there's really no way to fulfill the requirements of this. All people entering from abroad will be required to spend 14 days in home isolation, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Monday. The measure became effective at 8 p.m. on Monday night, which was March 9th. Okay, so this 14-day quarantine, and it was put into effect on the night of Purim, on the night of the full moon, March 9th. Okay, very important connections here that we're going to get into. More departure signs. Israeli airlines Arkia and Israel are canceling all of their international flights. According to Channel 13, Arkia will stop flights immediately, and Israel will cancel flights starting from next week until May. Okay. Links here for those who want to search this information. More information. Netanyahu hosts a conference call with 7 European leaders on coronavirus, on the coronavirus outbreak. 7 European leaders. We know when it talks about world leaders getting together, and the number 7 is is large because the beast has 7 heads and 10 horns, right? So whenever you have political leaders meeting with 7 heads of nations, always something to watch. Okay, this is a very important time in our world and in prophetic history, the prophetic fulfillment of the end times. Okay. And another report here, breaking news: Prime Minister Netanyahu says foreigners will straightly enter into 14 days quarantine. So anyone who arrives into the country, if you want to go to Israel, you're going to start out by a 14-day quarantine by law. Okay, so that basically shutting down all travel in and out of Israel. Another article says West Bank city of Bethlehem battles coronavirus outbreak. Starting on March 5th, the Church of the Nativity was shut down. Remember the place of the abomination that happened 7 years ago? The 7-year anniversary is coming up on March 22nd, when Barack Obama went in and defiled the Church of the Nativity. Well, 7 years later, now the Church of the Nativity is shut down amidst the coronavirus outbreak, and there's a scare within the city of Bethlehem, the city of David as well. More departing signs. Royal family, the royal farewell. Harry and Meghan on final duty before new life. A royal farewell before they fly off into self-imposed exile in North America. A royal farewell and an exile, okay? Wow. It's a sign for the bride that we are getting ready to depart. A cruise ship arrives in Oakland after days of idling off coast. They had no place to go. They had 21 coronavirus patients infected, positive cases of coronavirus. No one would take them. They were idling off the coast for a number of days. They didn't know where to dock the ship, and they ended up docking the ship in Oakland, which is the Golden Gate. The Golden Gate. So very interesting detail, very interesting place for the ship to finally find rest. The Golden Gate. And then another article here talks about the Indian media have captured footage of a mysterious fireball which fell from the sky near the railway station in Ghaziabad, northern India. Fireball-like objects falls from the sky during rains in Ghaziabad. Fireballs rain down near Delhi, reporting apocalyptic meteorites. This was like a rainstorm of meteorites all falling down. Check out the links there. Okay, but I want to get into the connection of where we are and how this all ties into what we have been talking about leading up to the beginning of the year, NISAN 1, and just before NISAN 1, starting with the spring equinox between March 21st and NISAN 1 on March 26th. Somewhere in there we've got all this information leading us. So I want to talk about the 2-week isolation ordered for all who enter Israel. This report came out Monday night. The order was given. This news report came out on March 10th. We're still here today. We're still in Purim. This is the report that is coming out. This came out last night, was put in place last night on March 9th. Okay, so it's a 2-week isolation starting on Purim. Okay, 14 days of isolation starting on Purim. Now remember, before Purim, okay, we're watching Purim, and the signs for Purim are true, are real. The possibility of everything beginning right here on Purim is it's still possible. But at the same time, I had seen through March 22nd and March 26th this connection between Purim and March 23rd, a 14-day connection. I had talked to you about this in my previous videos. So before this happened, I had already mentioned to you that there could be a 14-day connection from Purim leading us to the timing of the skull and bones, and adding 66 days to that, bringing us to Pentecost. What we have is we have an 80-day interval between Purim and Pentecost. Okay? Purim to Pentecost is an 80-day time frame. Now, if we go 14 days from Purim, we're coming to the timing of skull and bones, the spring equinox, the skull and bones, and everything else we're watching on March 22nd and March 23rd. Okay? And this has to do with the birthing process of the Antichrist. Jesus was born, and he was circumcised on the 8th day, and 33 days later, on the 40th day, okay, he was presented in the temple. So the birthing process of the male child is a 40-day process broken down by 7 and 33 days. And he's circumcised on the 8th day. Now, the birthing process of the female child is 80 days. Okay, instead of 40 days, it's 80 days. And instead of 7 and 33 days, it's 14 and 66 days. Here it's written in Leviticus 12:5. And this has to do with the birthing process of the Antichrist. Okay, it's an 80-day birthing process. And the number 66 should be our hint, right? The male child. Jesus fulfilled the birth process of the male child. The Antichrist, who is gay, who comes in the spirit of a girl, right? Who does not love women, right? Okay, will fulfill the birthing process of the female child. And here we have 80 days. And it's divided by 14 and 66 days. So what we have from Purim to Pentecost is an 80-day process. And we have a 14-day interval bringing us to Skull and Bones and March 23rd. And within all of this, what did Jesus say? Pray that your flight be not in winter, nor on the Sabbath day. Well, what was the 14-day warning that came on Purim? No flights in or out of Israel. 14-day quarantine. Okay, no flights in or out of Israel. Anybody who comes must have a 14-day quarantine. And Jesus said, your flight, pray that your flight be not in winter, nor on the Sabbath day. So right now, 14 days before Skull and Bones and March 23rd, from the day of Purim, okay, it's taking us to a time where, number one, the spring equinox is the end of winter. So pray your flight be not in winter. Spring equinox is the official end of winter. If we had a lot of intervals within this time from the Feast of the Trees and from March 1st and all these other opportunities to end winter, a worldwide understanding of the true end of winter is the spring equinox. Okay? And this is the day celebrated by the Mayans at Chichen Itza, where the great serpent comes on the pyramid at Chichen Itza. March 21st. Okay? Now, pray that your flight be not in winter or on the Sabbath day. So we have a 14-day warning coming out of Israel on Purim about flights, about travel restrictions, and it's taking us to the beginning of spring, the end of winter, and March 21st, check your calendar, is Saturday. March 21st is Saturday. Okay, so check your calendars. Pray that your flight be not in winter or on the Sabbath day. So we have a 14-day warning from Purim to Skull and Bones. It's the 7-year anniversary of the abomination event. the Church of the Nativity is closed right now within this whole process of the coronavirus outbreak. This place that was defiled is now closed. The sacrifices have been canceled. All connected to the events of the abomination, the canceling of the sacrifices. We have in the movie The Purge, election year. The day of the Purge is March 21st and March 22nd. This is the 40-year anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones, March 22nd, 1980. Coronavirus CV is 3/22, the crowning of the Antichrist. On March 23rd, 2013, Barack Obama went to Petra, the sign of those who will flee into the wilderness during the Great Tribulation. And on this day, in 2010, Barack Obama signed Obamacare, the number of his name, Obamacare. So we have a 14-day travel warning out of Israel on Purim. Jesus told us, pray that your flight be not in winter or on the Sabbath day. 14-day travel warning out of Israel, taking us to the spring equinox. Flight not in winter, nor on the Sabbath day. And we have the 80-day birthing ritual of the Antichrist. From Purim to the spring equinox to Pentecost. 70 weeks are determined. The end of the 70 years. 70 weeks are determined. From 1949, Israel's first Pentecost after they had formed their government, to Pentecost 2020. 71, it's their 71st birthday, the true end of the 70 years on Pentecost 2020. The end of the 80-day birthing ritual of the Antichrist, from Purim to Skull and Bones to Pentecost. So this is what I wanted to share with you. We are definitely on final warnings. Italy has gone lockdown of the whole country. The sign of all signs within Israel basically is locking down Israel, no travel in or out of Israel. I mean, if Israel is the sign, Israel is God's time clock. So anything that is happening in Israel, we need to understand it. We need to watch it. If God wants to speak to us, he will do it through the Hebrew calendar or through his holy land that he has given. This is his land. This is his people. It's the apple of his eye. Okay? So a 14-day Purim warning is huge. It's connected to flights. It's connected to the spring equinox, the end of winter. And this is what I wanted to share with you. So I pray you guys are blessed today. And we will continue to watch, and I will continue to share anything else I see. I pray you're blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.